I'm down 23 pounds. My name is Robin Lee. I am 49 years old. I will be 50 next month. I've tried all kinds. I've tried Noom. I've tried calorie counting, all that sort of stuff. And I just ran across it on the internet. I said, let's try it. Let's see. I've tried all kinds of other stuff and nothing I could stick to, and I get swayed since then. I'd gotten my lowest weight ever when I was bodybuilding. And then I got tired and burnt out of the gym. I never wanted to see a gym again. I didn't want to. It was just way too much. When this came across, I said, okay, let me see if it works, and so far it has, up until doing this round since July the 4th, which is great for me. I'm pleased.
Have you found that the program has helped your knee pain?
Absolutely. I did an experiment. Because you only have in the beginning of the program is all the elixirs. And so I said, well, let me see. And then I noticed in taking those, then the inflammation in my knee would go down. And so then I said, okay, for the second half, the 4 through 10 days, there isn't many of them or any at all. So I'm like, let me try and see if it makes a difference. And I started taking the morning and evening and that. And yes, the inflammation in my knee went down. So there's definitely pros to it for sure. I've found on this program that I have more energy than I've ever had. I am not tired like I used to be in the afternoons and that. I feel lighter. I don't feel heavy when you eat heavy foods and things like that. I didn't have too bad a diet before. I know what I'm from the bodybuilding days. I know what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat and that. And you get swayed and you want to do. But with my job and being by myself, I'm exhausted in the evening. So the easy thing to me to do is get on my app and order takeout or to eat junk or stop at the gas station on the way back. So what I've learned in this program for me, and I don't know that it's necessarily the program, I printed out all the recipes and I have them in the kitchen and I go by day. And I figured out that if I plan my meals for the week, then I'm looking forward to what I'm going to eat, then I don't mind making it. But if I have to come home at the end of the day or even in the middle of the day, because I sort of work from home as well, and I have to then figure out what I'm going to eat, then I don't want to say it's overwhelming, but it's laziness sets in and I go, what's the easiest thing to do? Whereas with this program, okay, yeah, that's for lunch or that's for dinner. That's great. And I don't mind smoothies. So it's really helped me to figure out that once I finish this program, I know what I need to do now. On Sundays, I need to print out all different recipes that I want to have through the week or meals and just put it in the kitchen as a stack. And then I go do my little grocery shopping for what I need and I have it. And it's really got me in a happy mood, if you want to call it, better than I have before. And again, I like the meals. I like the variety of the substitutions I'm a pescatarian, so I don't eat any of the meats that are there.
I'm also a pescatarian, 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, I think I'm probably at 20 now. So that's very helpful as well, having that substitution list. There's also certain vegetables that I don't eat as well. So I like to be able to go, nope, not eating that. What can I do instead? So it just makes you have a little bit more flexibility than other programs where they've given you a meal and I'm going, I don't eat that. And there's no other options for me to eat. And I don't want to. So
you would say that this program and Svelte gives you all the tools you need, not just to follow a meal plan, but then to incorporate it into your life afterwards?
Yeah, absolutely. By staying on it as long as you can until you get to your goal weight really reiterates what you need to do when you finish. Instead of those quick fix programs and then you get tired of it or you don't like the food, and it makes it a lot easier, I find.
What would you say is your favorite thing about the program?
I think the variety of the meals. I think that's part of it. But I like the variety of them, that they're not all the same. They're not the same thing repetitive. There's a couple, but those ones I actually really like. So I don't have a problem with that. And the diversity of it as well.
So hard to find programs these days that don't require supplements or don't require this and
exactly.
that.
You're absolutely right. That's a big thing. Even when I was bodybuilding, we had to have all these supplements. It's very good on that regard. It's also not expensive. That's the other part that I liked, is that it's not breaking the bank to do it. Bottom line is this has worked for me and is working for me.
No, but that's wonderful. I commend you for taking that path and not the easy way out and just going to medicine and going to surgery. A lot of people just right away, they're like, okay, let's fix it. When, you can fix it natural or not everyone, of course, but in a situation like this, just kind of work on yourself first, how you can do it holistically, all naturally, and then assessing from there. So I definitely commend you on that one. That's really wonderful.
Yeah, no, I'm not going that route first. I have an obligation to myself, and so I need to do that first. I really stuck to this program in this entire sort of since July the 4th. I honestly started on July the 4th, and I've taken one day off in between. But I can't say on Friday when I was in Florida, when I spoke to you that day I had lunch. It was an all-you-can-eat sushi bar, which is where I was looking into. And then I ate so much there, which I hadn't eaten that much in forever. And I'm like, okay, I'm full now. This is it. I ended up having 2 chocolate chip cookies at the airport, and that was it. I was done. And then I was back on the program the next day, and it didn't bother me. And I didn't feel sluggish. I felt like, oh, okay, I'm good, you know?
Yeah, no, that's good. You should be able to treat yourself, but that's what I'm saying. You learned, you went in moderation, you treat yourself, and then you went right back to it, and you didn't feel guilty, you didn't bring yourself down. You just kept moving forward, and that's the ultimate goal, is like finding that balance, eating healthy, treating yourself when it's appropriate or when you can, and then moving forward and keep going. So
yeah, coming from where I was calorie counting for years and seeing, and I can't say stressing myself out, but wasting time putting all the items in the app and everything. It's sort of like a little bit of a weight lifted that I don't have to do that anymore. I don't even think about it. I don't even have to worry about it. I'm not even bothered to buy it. And it's I got time to do something else. So that makes me feel good as well, that I don't have to do that.
When I first started getting into fitness and health and stuff, I try to keep like a journal, and it becomes a little bit too obsessive, too like, oh, what if you miss something, you don't know a number, then you start like freaking out, and it actually kind of becomes unhealthy. When here we like to focus on the quality of the food rather than those little numbers, and then it takes off a certain stress, and stress is a huge thing when it comes to weight and health. So what do you say to those people who have not bought the program but are thinking about it?
If you're like me, that have tried a whole bunch of different programs, it's worked for me. I've found it's worked for me, but it doesn't break the bank like some of the other programs that I've invested in that I've failed at. And for this, from the price point, you don't feel like, okay, if I fail, it didn't work for me. You've lost that much compared to other programs. On the flip side of it, if it does work, then you've got more of a value for your money than you've ever had in any of the other programs.
Yep. And we have a 60-day money back guarantee. So if you don't like it in the 2 months,
I didn't even look at that. To be honest.
Yeah, and then you don't lose any money, actually. For those people who have bought the program, who have started, who are not so disciplined like you, and are like kind of scared to get started, to like take that first step and really get going and fly off, what would you say to them? What motivation would you give them?
On that side, I would say just try it. Just stick to it. If you fail a day, then start again. You're only accountable to yourself. So, and we all make mistakes. We all have good days and bad days, and just keep going. Ultimately, what I've learned also, not just through this program, but as you go, we all hit plateaus. So you just have to keep going through those plateaus and keep knowing that the program works. Just keep going. You may have a round where you don't lose anything because you're at that plateau. And so knowing from my experience, just go again, because your body has to catch up with what you're doing. So I would just say, keep going. It's worked for me. I have not lost the majority of the weight that I see others have and testimonies in that, but I've lost what I'm happy with. I didn't want to lose it that fast. Because I also didn't want to have saggy skin and all that sort of stuff. So that's why I'm exercising as well. But I've lost. And so to me, that's a win.
Yeah, absolutely. And steady wins the race. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. That's what I always tell everyone,
It's consistency. The bottom line is consistency. For me, I finally found the program that works for me and the lifestyle that will work for me once I hit my goal weight. I know what I need to do afterwards and how I need to conduct myself in the future to stay on the healthy path that I've found.
This program has helped thousands of men and women transform their lives from the comfort of their own home. If you're interested, click that link below and I'm gonna walk you through every single step of how they did it.